What's up, guys? You're in 122 here, and today I'm just going to be talking about the new Gears of War Judgment, which came out today, and I've been so excited for this game ever since they've announced it, and I'm so happy to finally get to play it. You wonder why I'm talking so fast? It's because I have a lot to talk about. I picked kind of short footage, but it's kind of to talk about the new game mode. So anyways, so here we go. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was the maps. So the maps are much more vertical in this game than the other Gears, and instead of them just being symmetrical and wide and pretty flat, not a very drastic elevation change, they're very tall in this game. You'll see later on from this bridge I'm about to cross under now, you can roll down from that bridge right onto the street. You don't have to wait, and you don't have to walk all the way around or anything like that. So that adds another new mechanic and strategy to how you take on enemies and things like that. The mantle kick is still a mechanic they add. You'll see later. I miss, but you can see the mechanic is still there because it does the little camera thing that it does when you mantle kick someone. I also did an overrun, so I mean, it is possible to do it. Next is kind of the fact there only are 4 launch maps, but which is Rig, Streets, which I'm playing right now, Gondola, and Library. There are more for Overrun. I think there might be 4 for that too. I'm not for sure, but you would think that's kind of just bad for replayability value and stuff like that, and they get boring pretty fast, but they actually don't really get boring that quick. They have really high replayability, especially when you play them on a variety of game modes. They just, every time it just feels new, kind of, in a way. That's pretty much all I wanted to say about the maps. There's not, I don't know, much to really talk about the maps, except that they're new, I mean. So, next, I kind of want to talk about the game modes, which, they've taken a lot of the classic game modes out, like Execution and Warzone and King of the Hill, and they've replaced them with Free-for-all and Domination and Overrun. They did keep TDM from Gears of War 3, which I'm happy to say. Free-for-all is, which I'm playing right now, is the new game mode that they added, and I'm really happy that they added this, because I'm just gonna say it now, but teammates are so stupid sometimes, and they just get in the way, and free-for-all finally gets to kind of just prove yourself as a Gears player, and that you can play by yourself and do good by yourself, and just test your individual skill, instead of just relying on your teammates to do work for you, or anything like that. So you can't really blame them. It's solely you playing, it's solely how you do if you win the match. It doesn't depend on what they do. And so, that's kind of nice, which I really like about free-for-all. It's obviously the hardest game to win because, like I said, it depends on it solely depends on how good you play the game. Next, I want to talk about Domination. So Domination is okay. I definitely preferred KOTH over it because it just felt like you were much more engaged. It's much more exciting than Domination. With Domination, I feel like you're always just running back and forth from flag with minimal engagement, and usually if you're capping a flag, there's very, very little contesting. You might get contested once by one person, but then you just capture it by yourself, and most of the time you're capturing it by yourself without teammates' help, and without being contested from the enemy. So that's pretty much the main reason I prefer King of the Hill, because you're always engaged, you're always trying to fight over the flag, it's constantly being contested. So that's pretty much it for Domination. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about Overrun, which is a new game mode. I'm gonna talk about that in another commentary, kind of by itself, since it's completely different from regular multiplayer game modes and stuff like that, and gameplay as well. But I will say it is very balanced, and they did very, very good with it. They didn't just toss it in there, kind of like they did Turned with Black Ops 2, where it's really broken. It works really, really well. And so I'm really happy that they took their time with that and didn't just make it a tossed-in game mode that was just boring and had no kind of replayability value. For me, that was kind of how Beast was in Gears of War 3. Lastly, I want to talk about the guns, which they've kept obviously the classic guns like the Gnasher and the Lancer, which are always in Gears, as well as the Hammerburst. They came back with the retro. I think I said retro earlier, but I meant Lancer. So they have the Lancer, Gnasher, retro, Hammerburst, and the Saw's back as well. Everybody was complaining about the sawed-off and its new modification and how it can shoot 2 shots now instead of just 1. And everybody thought that was going to be a bad thing, but honestly, it hasn't been that big of a deal because the spread is the same as the Nasher. You keep the same sight as the Nasher, as you can see there, that same kind of faded sight when you're using the sawed-off. So the spread is less. As well, you literally have to be touching them. In Gears 3, you had a little more leniency with how close you needed to be, but in Judgment, you literally have to be touching them to kill them, or else the shot will barely hurt them. So they did really good with balancing the fact that now there's 2 shots, but you have to be touching them to kill them, and it's not an easy thing just to walk up to somebody in Gears and just kill them unless their back is turned to you. So they did really good with that, I thought. The other gun that they have is the classic hammer burst, which if you pre-ordered the game, then you got to use the classic hammer burst. And most of the time when you think of DLC guns, like any DLC guns that have been added from other games, have always been like super overpowered. But the hammer burst does really well with its 4-round burst. It doesn't just mow over everything that in its path. It actually is really balanced. They actually took into consideration that not everybody would have this gun, as well as the fact that it doesn't just destroy everything like other DLC guns would have as well. You'll see as well that I start off with only 2 guns. You always start off with the default pistol, but you can only start with either a Nasher or, you know, like the 5 weapons I was talking about, as well as a new weapon, which is a semi-auto sniper rifle. It's called like the Markza. I'm not really sure if I pronounced that right, but something like that. It's a semi-auto rifle. I don't like it as much as the other new sniper rifle they added, which was the breach shot, which is a semi-auto shot. I mean bolt action shot. Sorry, kind of like the long shot, but it has like a clip instead of just shooting 1 shot and reloading. So that's really nice about the breach shot. You can also start off with multiple. You can also start off with a grenade as well. So either like an ink, a smoke, a frag, the stimp gas grenades, which are healing grenades, which are new grenades, as well as a spot grenade. So you start off with more of a full loadout, unlike before, where it's just you kind of had one thing. So that's pretty much it for those. And then there's new things like the Bushka, which is kind of like a hybrid of the boom shot. There's kind of a delayed explosion. It kind of shoots like grenade shots. There's like a delayed explosion when you shoot it. It has 6 rounds instead of 3 rounds like the boom shot. So it's kind of nice there. It kind of adds some new strategy. It can bounce off walls and things like that. So that's pretty much it for this commentary. And so far, Judgment has been amazing, and I plan on doing my first review for it as soon as I get done with the campaign. So keep looking out for more Judgment, the good kind, not, you know, judging you. But anyways, keep looking out for more Judgment videos. Subscribe and like, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.